Hello, guys, and welcome to our second episode of the CableCast, where today we're gonna do a bit more of an interesting topic. Last time we kind of just talked about like our transition from Jukedama to Couches and Cables, very relevant to the channel. But today we're talking about our favorite both artists, like musical artists that we know about, and video game soundtracks. So a very music-based topic for today, also tying in video games because that's what we do. So yeah, to start off here, we're just gonna kind of each talk about like our favorite tastes, and from there we'll make connections and just go more into detail from there. So first up we have Cameron, who's
hello.
On the top of our list.
When it comes to video games, for me, nothing will ever top the Plants vs. Zombies soundtrack. I remember the Walnut Bowling song.
It's a good one. Oh,
theme.
yeah. Holy cow.
That really blew up a bit ago, maybe a year ago. But it's just so iconic, from the reward sound to just
anything
the basic theme.
It's just like
so
pure.
good.
If you don't mind, I'd like to point out probably my favorite theme from that song, or that from that game, is the rooftop. I specifically remember that one being like, holy cow.
I actually never heard the soundtrack before, so that's interesting. I gotta listen to it.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
It's
have
great.
it. You just don't know.
You've probably heard it.
Have you seen
like
the whole
meme?
like Billie Eilish meme about it being like the Plants vs. Zombies theme?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that one.
That's the title theme, at least.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
that's
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah, that's that. All right. Well, what do you have to say, Jackson?
Okay, so when you first proposed the topic to us, there are three that came to my mind. As basic as it is, the first one that came to mind was Minecraft. It's honestly, I could just listen to Minecraft music 24/7. It's the perfect emotion for me because it's just so nostalgic. Because I always think of myself when I was a kid playing Minecraft, but it's also kind of sad, but also optimistic at the same time to me. It has all these complex emotions and just piano scores, and just all the discs and stuff too. And the new pig stuff is such a bop, or I guess it's not new anymore, but it's such a bop. The second one that came up to my mind was the Halo Reach soundtrack.
Briefly remember that.
It's so good because I'm not sure if I should say spoilers for this game because it did come out.
Oh, spoilers.
10 years ago, right? But it just has this melancholic vibe of it because it is a melancholic game, it's sad. It's it takes you through the highs and lows of being a Spartan and everything that going along with that. This hits me because it's nostalgic because I remember beating the game in one night, or the campaign in one night, because I'm I can't sleep. I just want to play this game. I just want to kill some grunts, just rip off their heads or whatever, just blow them up,
It's very atmospheric. Very good at
I know, right? But the third and final one, and this will tie into one of my favorite artists right now, is the Pokemon Diamond Pearl Platinum soundtrack.
Ooh.
It's so good. Very topical with the new ones coming out. But they're just so good. They're so Nintendo when making the game, Game Freak when making the game, they really pushed the MIDI of what it could do.
Yeah.
Especially for this game, because Gen 3, it's a good soundtrack, but it's just super cheesy horns and stuff like that.
I love Gen 3.
I love Gen 3, don't get me wrong. But this had more nuanced instruments with it, and just could provide a more, what's the word?
Piano?
More piano. They could provide a better atmosphere for the entire region as a whole, more nuance. And tying a new artist into it is this guy named Insane in the Rain Music.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, he did this whole project in the last year. It's called Synovation. And he's a jazz musician. He plays saxophone, he plays drums, he plays piano, he plays like all these instruments. He went to Juilliard, which is like one of the best music schools in the world. And he basically remade almost the entire soundtrack. And it's like fantastic, and just like fired my love up for the game and the audio, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play the new Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl or whatever, and I'm gonna listen to the soundtrack while I play it. I'm not gonna listen to the in-game soundtrack because I love this album version. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just all of these. I guess a theme between all of mine is that they all connect to my childhood, and like they've just like kept reappearing in my life. You know, they kept popping up. They kept, because these three are my favorite games as well. So
Yeah.
I guess
I think Pokemon's a good place to be. Obviously, there's the big ones like Driftvale City, and there's another one that blew up. But there's just a lot of really good songs that really connect well to memories. My first game was actually, I'm a first gener. I played like Pokemon Color, Pokemon Fire Red on the Game Boy Color, and Lavender Town was always big for me. I remember playing on my little Game Boy Color in the dark in the back
Was
seat.
that different than the version in Gen 1?
No, he just misspoke. It's Pokemon Red for the people.
Well, no,
on
he
Game Boy
said
Color,
Fire
I'm guessing.
Red. That one also has Lavender Town, but is it a different
I'm
soundtrack?
just-
Okay.
I don't think it's any different. I think it's
Okay.
just
Yeah, I agree. That one's super interesting.
I do feel the most underrated theme in all of Pokemon is the XY bike theme. Just like
Really?
it's just
Oh,
like
yeah, that was
yeah,
XY.
it's so good. It's like, I don't know why it's not considered one of the best ones, because it has like electric guitar and like such like a super like, oh hell yeah, let's go explore, you know.
people didn't like XY that much, which is astonishing. I think XY was interesting, even if it was a bit different.
I feel it was a bit easy, but like looking back at it now, it's aged really well. I feel.
For sure.
Because it introduced a bunch of, this is turning
You're
into a Pokemon talk, but like it introduced a bunch of like new like battle styles, you know, like new forms and stuff like that, and like oh cool, those have lasted through time. But yeah, those are my music choices: Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Halo Reach, and Minecraft.
Really
Okay.
shook the music meta.
It really did.
If you don't mind, I was going to comment a bit on Minecraft. Because for me as a child, like when I started playing that, I think I was in like 4th grade or whatever. And for the longest time, I just like would always turn off the music. I just didn't care about it. But yeah, I know it is messed up. But recently, like in the past few years, when I started getting back into it, I finally turned it on and I was like, yeah, this is good stuff. It definitely fits the vibe. I don't know why I was turning it off. Probably because I just didn't like ambient music back in the day, but I just thought that was an interesting comment.
Oh yeah, I definitely feel the same way. Like I definitely like listen to it like, oh, okay, this is cool when I first started playing, and then like, oh, this is annoying, and then like, oh, this is like, I can disassociate to this while playing this game.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
It's your turn, Matthew.
Well, then I'll just jump in right in there with another Pokemon soundtrack.
Here we go.
It's just such a good place to start.
I can't believe you slammed Gen 3 like that. How could you? Those trumpets are so iconic. They gave such a good sense of adventure. Like you're on this tropical island. In fact, you know what? There.
I just think of Gen 3 and I hear horns.
That's exactly
I hear
what
trumpet.
you should do.
I adore Gen 3.
Like
I really do.
it's not, I agree. Like Gen 4 felt more nuanced because, well, you know, more piano, but the fanfare just makes it feel so bombastic, so adventurous, so childlike, I guess, to me. and I loved that.
I felt manic playing these games.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I don't have any hate towards Gen 3. I love Gen 3. It was actually the first Pokemon game I played, like Emerald was. But like, I guess I'm more a fan of like more like ambient kind of music because like I like just drawing stuff while I study. Like I can study to Minecraft. I can study to Gen 4. I can't study to Gen 3.
Gen 3, no.
Not at all.
It's so distracting.
Nice.
Exactly.
But yeah, so Gen 3 will always have a place in my heart with that stuff. And then the second soundtrack I wanted to bring up was actually more, I guess it's more recent, although it would still be in like the past few years. What I consider the real final battle for Undertale, Hopes and Dreams, is just so beautiful. like it's so no, that's just pain.
They're all good.
That's just hard work and pain. Whereas this was just, oh gosh, like it makes you feel hopeful. It makes you feel like this is the story coming to an end. And it's just this smooth ride. Like it doesn't feel like it's easy. It just feels like you're not having to claw tooth and nail like you do with Megalovania. Like Jesus.
Another big one from Undertale is like the spider dance. That's a big one. That one's also like manic though.
That's like one of my favorites probably.
Nice.
I also feel like the dummy, whatever the song it plays whenever I fight the dummy, like,
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, dude.
that's fun.
I'll find it.
So yeah, Undertale really cemented its place in my heart when I beat it in like a single run. I was like, well, I love this game.
Yeah.
Then third and final pick, keep going.
Jackson, I think you're about to talk.
No, I was just laughing.
Oh. All right, go ahead.
Got it. The third and final pick was also from my childhood, also Final Battle, much more bombastic, from Mega Man 03. And it's aptly named Cannonball because, good lord, you're being shot with one essentially through the ears. It's
I knew someone was going to mention Mega Man.
Oh, it has
so
to at some
iconic.
point.
And like I know Mega Man 0 doesn't really get nearly as much love as the classics or even X, but the music was so good, and this was such a powerful ending piece. Like, it's such a good fight soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I totally get that.
He really likes it.
I feel bad because I never really when you were talking about Undertale, I always kind of dismissed it because of like the fan base and stuff, which is rich for me to say as I enjoyed like FNAF. So my first I was gonna talk about my actual like favorite artists and stuff, but since you guys are all mentioning video game soundtracks, I'll start with that. But first and foremost, the Subnautica soundtrack. All the way through. I can't pick out a specific song from there that I like more or less than the rest, but it's just so. I think I might even have to credit Subnautica for getting me into ambient music. Just like the feeling of really, first of all, feeling like you're fearing for your life,
Constantly in danger. That's all I feel with the soundtrack.
Yeah, and it really homes that through, and I think maybe even gives me that touch for ambient music in general. So I have to thank Subnautica for that, especially.
Minecraft.
Next up, of course, you guys know me as like the Mario guy, but two games specifically from Mario that were just had such phenomenal soundtracks. Super Paper Mario was just incredible. I never really played the first or the second Paper Mario games, so I'm not too familiar with their soundtracks, but Super Paper Mario specifically was the Burnout guy. Yeah, sure. You also know me as the Wakeboarding Unleashed guy, but
That's
Fun, yeah.
World champion.
yeah, of course. Yeah, world record currently if any percent speed run.
Oh.
But Super Paper Mario, just once again, like every single soundtrack. I remember that's one of the first. Because I like as a young child, I never really listened to music on my own until like probably like middle school. But even before then, Super Paper Mario was like one of the only games I would actually legitimately. I downloaded the soundtracks from YouTube and just would listen to them because I loved it so much. And then of course the next Mario game is pretty recognized for having a really good soundtrack, but I still feel like I should talk about it anyway. Is Super Mario Galaxy? Just
Oh yeah.
once again, just a incredible compositions all the way through. So, what was that, Jackson?
I said I was gonna point at like the one like soundtrack I think that could rival Super Mario or like the Paper Mario is the Super Mario 64 soundtrack with like
I do.
Dire Docks. Like
Yeah, Dire Docks is incredible. I do like Super Mario 64 soundtrack. But yeah,
and, like,
it never hit
Bomb
me as hard.
Battlefield.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
It's like those are like I think those are like the pinnacle of some of the pinnacle of Mario music for me individually.
Mhm. You know, it's interesting you bring that up because Super Mario 64 was like one of the first times that Nintendo used they used like actual sound font files rather than using the game's like just generate sine or saw waves or whatever, because that's how they used to do it.
Chiptune.
Chiptune. They legitimately had waves that would generate the music, or like a little chipset in there that would generate the waves. But I think the N64. I don't know this for a fact, but I know was one of the first consoles that actually used MIDI and like wave fonts. Sorry, and like actual sampled instruments and incorporated that into there. So it definitely does have an edge and was definitely impressive and state of the art for the time. So you definitely have a point with Super Mario 64, I will admit. But I still have some thoughts about some other artists, but I think I'll let Tyler talk first, and then we can maybe get on to more like actual music or actual like artist music. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. One game I've been playing a lot of is Loop Hero on Steam. It came out a bit ago. It's got such a good soundtrack by this composer Blinch. Just one guy made these like 30 tracks, and it's just really beautiful 16-bit style music, especially the boss music. It's really good. I recommend Loop Hero for those of you who haven't played it.
Very intense
I haven't
game.
heard of it.
It's on Steam. Kind of addictive. Bit grindy.
It is very grindy.
This had to come up at some point. Doom Eternal. It's probably one of my favorite games. Just an amazing soundtrack by Mick Gordon. They did part ways though, because there were some disagreements about the way it was mixed. So he's not going to be working with the people that make Doom anymore. Anymore. But oh well. It was really nice while it lasted. He's been making music for Doom for a while, and it's always been pretty good.
Oh, can I hop in for a second?
Sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, so for the last Doom Eternal, the first time I played it, the soundtrack, I'm like, oh, okay, this album, not Fishing for Fishies, Infest the Rat's Nest by King Gizzard would fit really well. So like I actually had my headphones like Infest the Rat's Nest. It fits perfectly. I cannot state how perfect it is. It is so good. I would recommend it if you guys want to try it.
Okay, I'll try that. I haven't heard that King Gizzard album yet, so
It's okay.
I'll get on that.
I hate to be a boomer, But I'd like to mention Metallica.
Barely know.
Oh, love Metallica.
I didn't listen to Metallica much at all, but Metallica's just it really is just the staple of that genre of music.
Yeah, it's so good. They do.
Everything else just feels like an imitation of Metallica now.
I feel like they cover a lot of different styles at least once at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for interrupting, Tyler, but do you have any other ones that you like?
Yeah, I have a couple more. I'll be done soon. Hold on.
No problem.
Okay, I also wanted to mention Crypt of the Necro Dancer. I know these are all like easy answers, like, oh, games with good soundtracks. What is there? Oh, Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Like,
But
of course.
mentioned, so.
But gosh, it really deserves a mention. It's so good. And half the tracks are they have the shopkeeper singing as well. That's really good. Hotline Miami deserves a mention, of course. That's actually by a lot of different artists, compiled. Just amazing.
Is it like they took a bunch of songs that already exist and made a playlist out of it, or is it completely new compositions?
I think it's partially that.
Okay.
And partially songs made for the soundtrack.
Gotcha.
Similar vein, Fury.
Mm-hmm.
Fury.
Love Fury.
It's very, very hype.
Yes.
What was very similar to Crypt of the Necrodancer is Everhood, although I don't think Everhood is extremely popular.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
It's kind of like rhythm game Undertale, which is really funny to say. But the Everhood soundtrack it's very fitting to the game. The game's very psychedelic, seizure inducing.
The last thing I wanted to mention was one song off of the soundtrack for Spelunky, the first one, which is the Black Market theme. And it's so funky. I listen to it all the time. It's just so good for a song that you like barely ever hear in the actual game. It's just such a hidden gem in that game, and it's got such a groove to it. So
interesting.
Check that out.
Yeah, we just got finished
professionals
talking about OSTs, but since you've just arrived,
I mean, that's a pretty good time
now we're
to
back to
join.
OSTs.
start with the class. What's your favorite OST, like video game kind of stuff?
Ah, shit. Like that's tough. Like just game specific.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
For now, I don't know if I really have a favorite. Like, let me think of like which ones I'm currently like really enjoying right now. I really do like. I mean, since I'm playing it, right? But I really like the Final Fantasy 14 soundtrack so far. It's really good. I'm a basic motherfucker when it comes to this, so I really like Persona 5. It sounds really good, right? It's great. And then like more basic, Legend of Zelda's got a really good soundtrack.
I'm surprised no one mentioned
top three.
I'm surprised no one mentioned Legend of Zelda, actually.
I wanted to, but I only want to do 3.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
So
I haven't really,
that's like
I
a
haven't really
basic
played
take
Zelda.
of like
Did
a
I
good
do too
OST.
many?
Like, I don't really care. It's
did
good.
like 5.
If it sounds good, I like it.
Oh,
Like
you're good.
Dark Souls has an amazing one too.
Oh yeah,
The entire series. Just pretty
The
much
sound
any
of that
From
sword.
Software game is really good.
the sound of the sword being unsheathed right next to your ears, making you bleed when you press start the game. Love
That's
it.
the best though. Like, oh, it's so good, dude. It's so clean.
Nice.
Yeah. What were some of the games you guys brought up? Because I see you linked some things in chat. Like
You can
got
look at them.
Undertale. You
Yeah,
got Doom
that's all the
Eternal,
stuff we mentioned.
Hotline. Oh, good choice on Hotline Miami. By the way, very nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That game's soundtrack is fucking amazing.
Also the second game.
Do we want to
So do
maybe
we want-
start? What was it?
I said, do we want to like loop around again and like talk about favorite like artists?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Music artists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, real music.
Oh, okay.
Visual.
Real
Yeah.
music.
Said real music.
Real music.
Yeah.
It's all real music.
I'll take a back seat for a little bit before I talk about mine, even though it's not going to be that long. It's going to be brief, but
Oh yeah.
We're just
anyone
going in,
that knows my
alphabetical order.
music tastes knows
they're going
exactly
first.
who my favorite artist is. So.
My name starts with N in real life.
Yeah, it's kind of
Actually, everyone else here
Dustin.
has correct names.
Oh yeah, I accidentally have the same.
Correct names.
Correct first letters.
I wonder if that's a
Yeah.
coincidence.
I mean,
It's true.
if you want to go third in the line, you're welcome to.
No.
God.
Uh,
I was
before
just
we-
gonna get on the topic of overrated soundtracks actually, because like there's some
we
that
could,
like
we
make
could,
me
we
angry.
could talk about that
Ooh.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead before we
I
get
have
into
one
Actually,
more,
yeah.
music. No more music.
I have
One
one more
big
really
one.
good
Okay, go,
soundtrack.
wait, go,
Oh
Tyler.
yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Sorry, I just
Before
wanted
we
to mention.
completely deviate from this topic.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to mention Cave Story.
Oh,
If you've
Oh.
ever played that,
Oh.
Never
That's-
played it.
Never
Man,
played
never-
it.
no one
every
has
song
played
is so
Cave
good.
Story.
it's a really really good game.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it's
know.
not.
Yeah, it got remastered with like officially with Nintendo, and it's like, oh man,
And
it's
really,
so
what a
good.
jam.
Every song,
Nice.
so good.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, it's good thing you showed up, Michael, because that's an interesting topic. Overrated soundtracks.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have a lot to
number one,
contribute.
RuneScape, old school
Okay.
RuneScape. Its soundtrack, you literally like you only like it because of nostalgia. Now you could probably say that for like a lot of things, but oh my god, Sea Shanty 2 or whatever is like the only decent song in the
Yeah,
whole
that's
fucking
true.
soundtrack. You
It's
don't
so
like
true.
the RuneScape soundtrack. You like Sea Shanty 2. That's what you like.
I do like Sea
Oh my
Shanty
God.
too.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, okay.
That's like
Megalomania.
overrated.
Yeah.
Like, listen, it's good.
It's
That's it.
overrated.
I can't think of anything overrated. I like
I know.
music too much.
I'm struggling with this. I'm sure there is. You know, when we were playing, this might anger people. I don't know, but when we were playing Terraria, I didn't
Oh,
It gets
true.
super
it gets so
care
repetitive.
for the
It's a good
soundtrack.
soundtrack.
turned off
but
music.
it just repeats
Yeah, I
so
turned
much.
my music off too.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit of a hot take, right? There are definitely
Uh-oh.
some good songs in there, but I think the Minecraft soundtrack falls
Oh,
under
boy.
that category so hard. Like, crazy
okay.
hard.
Jackson
stepped on
just
a
went on
landmine.
a
That was like
huge.
the first one we mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, this is like
we were
a
talking about how we
flaming
loved
take.
it.
Everyone
Yeah,
disliked
that's a pretty
that.
flaming.
Yeah.
I
This
talked
is
about
like,
how
uh,
I originally didn't like it, so I mean, I grew to really like it, but
I like a couple
Realized you were
songs from
wrong.
it, but I just think that it's overplayed as fuck.
It's
It's good, but it's overplayed, I think.
it's a big
Who
grower.
plays it? That's what I'm curious about. Like, what do you mean it's overplayed?
Everywhere on fucking Instagram, like every shit post, if they ran out of ideas,
Oh,
they just
the
put
video
like
I hate
14 music in there.
but I think
yeah,
that's
I
a
see.
case
Yeah.
of.
I think that spoiled it for me, for sure.
I think that might be a case
but, like,
of
I don't know.
like the soundtrack isn't necessarily bad, but it's just people
I'm just
like
sick of hearing it.
Overused.
Yeah,
The
overusing
Instagrams
it.
and TikToks are bad.
Maybe
Yeah.
overrated's the wrong term, and overplayed is the right one.
yeah, sure,
yeah.
I'd agree.
Because like overplayed, definitely, it's good, right? But I don't know. It's not as like.
I think that's the
insane
same
as people
category that Terraria falls into. Where
Yeah.
you hear like the first 4 notes of the one song, and you're like, oh, I heard this before.
Yeah. Wow, this is on every fucking like social media platform. Like, if I click on a post, 50/50 it'll have this playing.
I feel like
Yeah,
you
but
could
the corruption
arguably.
theme will never be bad.
I
True.
feel like you could arguably say the same thing about Plants vs Zombies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I haven't heard too much of it personally, but I could see that it probably does fall in that category.
Maybe I definitely don't go on social media nearly as much as you
No,
guys.
neither do
'cause
I. But I just like from
Oh,
like
I
the
took it
memes
for
I get
shit
sent
posts.
on
These things
Discord.
haven't been spoiled for me by that.
Well,
That's,
good.
you're pure then.
That's a
You're
good thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I have any overrated ones.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
I just like things.
I feel like I always hear.
I linked to the Plants vs Zombies reward theme, the first one in particular.
Oh yeah,
Nothing can. That's such a sick little riff, man.
it's nice.
You just hear it in so many memes where like something spazzes out.
Oh yeah, that one.
I feel like I hear the. I don't know if you guys know this, but like for a lot of the YouTubers I watch, in the background, and like the various genres too of channels, like the Undertale shop music.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
do hear that a lot.
Like,
Can someone link that?
I think it should be replaced with the Ocarina of Time shop theme. In my opinion, that's a way better theme. It's
I-
so
I
like
do like
it
that song.
feels so
It's
cozy.
probably not
Sounds
copyrighted.
I felt
long
like
since
I
I've
just
heard it, I
watched
can't
into a
remember.
shop. Yeah.
I think that's the most memorable from Ocarina of Time for me. I can't picture any others.
Well, actually, Seria's song is probably the most recognizable from
Song
it.
of Storms.
Well, that's cheating.
Yeah. Well, Song of Storms. Yeah, you're right. I purged that from my memory.
Is that from Ocarina of Time?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I like Song of Storms,
Yeah.
though, don't get me
Oh
wrong.
crap, Gerudo Valley.
Oh, yeah.
bro, that
Gerudo
is so good.
We're back
It's
to just
so
talking
good.
about
That one
movies,
gets a
right?
pass, though.
Yeah.
That one deserves it, okay? That one's really good.
And honestly, not a lot of people played it because on the DS, but the Spirit Tracks soundtrack,
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
it's got some real good.
And
real
Phantom
good music.
Hourglass too.
Oh yeah.
There's this really interesting phenomenon with music where it seems like when you forget music that you really like and then you rediscover it, it's like twice as good. Right?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
True.
for sure.
Old
Yeah.
music like Surfin' USA, what a bop, right? I had MGMT. Obviously, I listened to MGMT music, their music when they first blew up, and then I just kind of stopped listening to it, and then I got back into them recently. It's just so good, I can't stop.
Yeah.
I like
The
Yeah.
whole album. What is it?
Personally, I like,
Little Dark Age.
yeah, Little Dark Age and Congratulations, I think, are my favorite MGMT.
They're probably the two best.
Yeah, I would agree.
There's one that
I
follows
like Little
Regular
Dark Age.
Spectacular. That's I'm pretty sure that's their debut album. That's
Yes.
Yeah,
the
it's
one
their
that follows
debut.
them. That's all I had to say.
I guess now since we're on the topic of like normal artists, what about you, Jackson?
Ooh, normal artist. Hold on one sec. Okay, so I've been really on a I know this is basic. This is fucking basic at all. But it kind of set the scene for like the whole like psychedelic stuff and things like that. But I fucking love the Beatles.
Oh yeah,
I love the Beatles so much. Like
Psychedelic
Oh, yeah.
is just so good.
my favorite Beatles song is Strawberry Fields Forever. Mostly because of the story behind recording. Like, okay, so the main song was in A, and the strings were recorded somehow in A flat because it's easier to record in A flat than A for them. And so they had to match the tempo. So they had to slow down the vocal, like everything else but the strings. So like at around like 59 seconds in the song, you could actually like hear like the voice go like drop down. It's so good. And so like they actually had to slow down the tape to match it. And so it's like in like this weird like A half flat or A half sharp or something like that.
Well, that's weird.
wow.
Yeah, it's like
Very good.
super cool.
So it's
And,
like
like-
in like a microtonal.
Yeah, exactly. Because it has like the flat and the regular key. Like Abbey Road, I love because like it starts with "You Never Give Me Your Money." The entire B side is just one straight melody the entire time, or like the one straight song. They called it like the long one in the studio, but just like I'll even listen to the fucking White Album because that's just incomprehensible stuff on it. Like it has like honey pie, wild honey pie, like piggies. Like who the fuck listens to piggies? You know?
Incomprehensible does not equal bad. Like that's so good.
That is true.
I'd agree.
I happen to
Incomprehensible,
like
there's-
Piggy.
There's an album called Sears and Calypso in the Deep Time. I don't know a single lyric in the entire album, and there's lyrics for all the songs.
I don't
and
even
that's
know what
such
that
a
title
good
is
album.
supposed to mean.
Oh, yes. Like that. Like I don't know a single word to what Sigur Rós is. I'll drop it in chat. Sigur Rós is an Icelandic band, and I have no idea what they're saying. But
It's
like
Icelandic. It might as well be gibberish. It's like,
yes. But lately I've been on a Khruangbin rush. Just I'll just put on what's their
Mordecai.
no, not even Mordecai. The Universe Smiles Upon You by Khruangbin.
Oh,
And that is
well, that's a nice title.
I've only listened to Mordecai, so I'm not sure. I remember thinking like some of the songs were really good in Mordecai, but then a lot of it was just filler. So I have to listen to some of their other stuff.
like this is just like, I could play this at like any time. Like any time is acceptable to play this. Like I played it like during like a dinner or something. Like you can, it's just so good, you know. And it's just between like three people, drummer, guitar, bass, and it's just like, oh yes, it's like velvet in my mouth. You know what I'm saying?
It's
There's
important to have
something really
good dinner
cathartic.
party music.
There's something really cathartic about not having lyrics that you need to pay attention to. Obviously, songs with lyrics are great because you can connect to them, but just not having to focus on it as much.
Oh yeah, it's like there's such a certain charm to music in a language that you don't understand.
Yeah.
It's probably part of why K-pop is so popular.
Yeah, and that,
J-pop.
Anime music, but yes.
And that's
listening to music in like a different language, it also just like proves that like music is universal. You know, there's like one thing that can bond everyone. It's
Math.
it's music. Like we don't even need the lyrics to communicate with each other.
It is math. Music is absolutely math.
Music is math. That's a song by Boards of Canada. But I was gonna going back to the Beatles. Tomorrow Never Knows is like one of the first. I think it's like because this came out in like 1966. It's like one of the first like popular songs. That's just like, what is going on when you listen to it? It is so bizarre, and I love it. But I don't know if I'm jumping ahead. I think Jackson was talking about his stuff. I think Matthew, do you have anything you want to add?
To
Like regular artists.
if you don't have anything, I could go.
No, yeah,
You're last, buddy.
Skillet.
Skillet.
Stay there. Yeah, Skillet's been a real mainstay for the past few years for me. Christian rock band, I guess. It makes it sound the kind you'd find at your local church.
Yeah,
You'd be
I've heard
embarrassed.
Skillet.
But like, Sabaton is also that really helps me get up in the
I love
morning.
Sabaton. Sabaton's really good.
Oh my god,
They're so quotable.
they are.
Maybe a little Tool.
Yeah. What's up?
I love Tool. Yeah, Tool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Tool.
It's an easy
Doesn't
choice,
the
Tool.
main guy
Tool,
like
Tool.
have a bar and like if you mention Tool, he'll like kick you out or something like that?
I hope
I
so.
feel like I remember that story.
That's good lore. I don't care if it's true or not. I like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I guess I just listen to top 40s. And then pick up new music from that. Just put into my ever-growing lexicon of music that doesn't go well with each other, but I think they're nice.
Yeah, 6,000 song strong playlist.
Yeah.
I just think they're neat.
I just think they're neat.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. What about you, Michael?
Like I said, my music taste is like drastic depending on when you talk to me. Right now, I'm in my like anti-music phase. Well, no, okay, not my anti-music phase. I'm in a phase where I'm like not listening to music that much at all. I'll just listen to a couple things on YouTube. Like my Spotify is pretty dead at the moment. But generally, the one artist that I always stick to 100% of the time is Aesop Rock. People get him confused with
God,
ASAP
yeah.
Rocky all the time, but I love his stuff.
Yeah,
I
it's a
just
pet peeve of yours.
it's so good. Yeah, it's like you know me, you know Aesop Rock. That's just how it is.
I seriously have to thank you for showing me Aesop Rock. He's in my top 5 artists of all time. I love him so much.
Oh, of course. It's like it's like a small. It's a pleasure I get whenever I introduce people to him because it starts out as a bit like, oh, I'm this huge crazy Aesop Rock fan, right? But I genuinely enjoy people finding his music like through me or through any means and like enjoying it because I really like the artist and I feel like his music is something that everybody should at least listen to once.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really like songs that are lyrically dense and that you can pay attention to and get something out of, you'll also like him. Plus, just his songs just sound nice, right?
Yeah.
And all of his albums are really diverse. And you also kind of have like a pick, since he's been in the game for a long time. If you go to his older stuff, you get a completely different sound from his older albums because his voice is much
he
different.
changed a lot.
It's much more nasally and like high pitched.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I recommend everybody check them out. A good starter album is The Impossible Kid. I feel like that's just a good all-around album to get you into
it's
him.
real good.
Like you can't really go wrong with that one. Plus, it gets you attuned to his newer voice.
ASAP Rocky is pretty good too.
I actually haven't listened to. Like,
I still
any of
haven't
his
listened
stuff.
to him. Should give it a shot.
He's
I
very
remember
talented.
before you had mentioned it, I found coffee from this stupid fucking mashup.
I know exactly
the
where
song
you got it from.
Toxic. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was
remember
ecstatic when you
talking about
said
it
that.
with you.
Yeah, I was ecstatic. That's literally burned into my memory because whenever I'm telling somebody about Aesop Rock and they happen to already know it, that like sticks with me.
And I remember you were like down and out on your luck because you mentioned it and you're already like, oh no, this guy's gonna think I'm talking about ASAP Rocky. You were like on the verge of tears. I'm like, no, I know exactly who you're talking about.
There's still somebody in the world that I'm almost 100% positive thinks I'm an ASAP Rocky fan because they had their fucking earbuds in, and I used context clues from like after the class, my eyes like were like bloodshot, like wide open because I was like, oh my god, I know exactly what kind of music they listen to. No way they heard me correctly.
Yeah.
Over like the teacher's country music and her own earbuds. No fucking way that she heard A$AP Rocky. Like I'm like
I kept trying to recommend him to our friend Amar, who you know, Michael.
yeah.
And every time I talked about him, he was like, "Oh yeah, I love A$AP Rocky, man."
Oh no.
And I was like, "No." But he'd already like started talking again.
Doom and gloom. Oh no.
Pretty funny.
God.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go ahead now. You guys have probably heard me blabble on about Autechre. This is like way down in the experimental. Maybe not way down, but
bloops.
Here he goes again.
beep and boop your ass. No, I wouldn't say maybe way down. A good starter album is probably Exai, EXAI. It's kind of similar to like Square Pusher or Aphex Twin, and it kind of has a little bit of like Brian Eno in there. So if any of that sounds interesting, you might like it, you might not. I don't care anymore. A lot of people don't like him, but I do, and that's the moral of this
give
story.
a shit, whatever, too. I don't care.
Another thing is probably a lot of you guys know Radiohead, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Yeah, of course.
In the lead singer Tom York, he has his own solo projects, and those are also really good. But my favorite Tom York material is when he got together with a few other people, including Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they made a project called Amok from Atoms for Peace, and it is just so good all the way through. I still think to this day this is my favorite album of all time. It's just like I don't know, and probably it won't hit people the same way it hits me, but it is just like so majestic and so words cannot describe how I love it. But yeah,
Can I interject with
go ahead.
something? This is sad, but Hers was a great band, and I love their album Welcome to Hers. I think that was the album name, but it's like that album is so good.
It was like painful,
and I wanted to bring it up because they're like they're still one of my like favorite bands, and because I discovered about them postmortem through my friend Chris, me and Justin's friend Chris, and we are incidentally recording this 2 years after they had passed today. So it is just kind of heartbreaking. It kind of puts everything in perspective too, you know, because like me and Justin are like super into like recording music and things like that, you know, and just kind of puts perspective. Like that could have, like something like that could be like, oh, they're having like a huge promising career, and then boom,
And even now,
something
they're
like that happened.
growing even post-mortem too.
Yeah.
Kind of like what happened to MF Doom. And I feel
Yeah, I was
like
gonna
now we're
say-
going into like a morbid topic about artists who have passed, but
I was gonna
I
bring
feel
up
like
I was gonna say, speaking of
relevant.
artists that have passed, MF Doom is an insanely
Rip
good
Doom.
artist.
He is so good. He is such a lyricist.
Yeah.
Little fun
Yeah.
fact: Aesop Rock and some other person, I forgot what they called. They did a collab and they made a song in like memory of him.
yeah,
which was,
I heard
I
about
thought,
that.
really
That was
nice.
cool.
Another artist that has passed. It's this little guy named J.R. Mysteries. He has this song called Rat Junction.
Shut up.
Oh yeah.
It's a shame what happened.
I'm gonna have to cut
I can't
that
believe this such a promising artist had to go so
Yeah,
soon.
2 trains at
Um,
once.
out. To make, I was gonna say,
Really
to make
unlikely.
things, to make things
Worst
even
kiss of
more
DP
crazy.
ever heard.
I'm so sorry.
We
Promising
were
artist.
talking about hers, and we were talking about our friend Chris. He actually went to the very last concert that
Yeah.
Wow.
hers performed before they got
That's
hit.
insane,
They
actually.
passed.
I know, and so like that's like that just really
How did
puts
they,
things into
how
perspective.
did they
To
bite
be
the
a fly
dust?
on that wall.
What happened to him?
They got in a car accident on their way to California that night after
Oh,
the
that's
show
sad.
Yeah.
because they wanted to leave that night to go to get there early for the show. So because they were originally going to wait till the morning to go, but they didn't want to.
Yeah, they were hit by a
car
wrong way
crashes, I find.
driver.
Yeah.
It was a wrong way driver on that highway to California.
Another
terrible.
artist that recently passed. I don't know. I never actually really listened to their music too often. I kind of feel bad because I wish I would have before they passed. I feel the same about like MF Doom and all these other artists I'm hearing about. But I'm not sure if you guys know Sophie.
Oh
so-
yeah,
Yeah.
It's really a shame.
And I know where's
She just I think she like climbed up onto a roof to like look at the moon or something, and she just fell off,
Fell,
and
yeah.
that was it.
Oh my gosh.
oh my gosh.
You know,
that
it's
sucks.
falls are
It's a
weird
good
because
one.
people fall like 400 feet and then they're fine. So you can fall like 1 inch and die. It's really
Yeah, there was a guy that
it's freaky.
fell out of like a fucking helicopter without a parachute and like was fine.
Yeah.
Holy
it
shit.
sucks.
Okay.
Well, yeah, he
I-
dodge rolled as soon as he hit the ground.
Oh yeah. Fucking
I
protect.
have a question for everyone.
What?
If you can go to a concert right now, what would it be?
Well,
I'll go first.
ASAP Rocky concert.
The genie heard me wrong.
Oh man,
I would go King Gizzard
Oh,
in the
Good
Lizard
choice.
Wizard. Just because like
choice.
they're like their sort of live shows are being so good. They're doing a live show this fall at the Red Rocks, and it's gonna be like a 3-hour show.
Oh wow.
Speaking of King Gizzard, the first time I ever heard it was when I was in Justin's car, right? And
That's playing Not a
Reese
Gun
was in the
Infinity.
back seat, and you were driving Reese home, and I remember this distinctly. He was telling me when we were like on a call afterwards about how that song that you were playing, I think you were playing Scorpion or something like that, or Rattlesnake, that's what it was.
Oh,
Rattlesnake.
That sounds
He said that
that-
it made him sick and like wanted to vomit, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like, I liked the song, but I kind of like related like towards the end, it mixed with just car sickness was like nightmarish.
honestly,
kind of
I
like
hear it then.
Reese with like Justin's car is just a ball of anxiety. I don't know what it is. He has so many accounts of being in Justin's car and just not wanting to be there.
It can be a scary
no.
place sometimes.
He's never told me that.
And it's not Justin's fault.
I love that.
I will say that at least
probably haunted.
once before, I don't know what music it was that Justin was playing, but like I was like, I need to open a window, and I just the sound is like
it's not
right
a
next
big
to
Car
it.
has like a
Killing me.
5%. He has like a 5% chance to trigger that debuff. Like
nausea.
are just insanely nausea-inducing.
This bard effect.
I will say
God. It's
every
funny
time I've
listening
written-
to a Tom
every
York
time
song or
I've
something.
ridden in Justin's car, it was fine. So
I specifically
You'll
like
trigger the 1 in
make
20.
You got that
like a
95% chance.
I make a queue of songs in advance to make sure that it's not going to be music that you guys like will vomit.
I think you're gonna say that you
anyway.
like procure like a vomit playlist to make sure that at least one of us.
The vomit
God.
playlist. I'll have to make that. Featuring
It's
rattlesnake.
just rattlesnake
and
on
Autechre.
loop. Yeah. Autechre. What is that? You have to like immediately leave the car.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Actually-
you have to reserve stuff like 1-800-PAIN. And shit
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I think
actually
that's
made a
maybe a
playlist
does that.
I called it the evil playlist on Spotify,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
fill it with songs that like suck. And sometimes when I'm giving
mean.
people rides, I put it on.
Tyler, you should put 1-800-PAIN in there because it simultaneously sucks and is really good.
Okay,
great.
Yeah, I try to keep a good balance. Like, oh, good song. Oh, it's like the
Birds
Troll
by
Love
Death
song
Grips.
in there. Yeah, Birds by Death Grips.
Oh yeah. What concert would you want to go to? Cameron.
The Long Faces. The Long Faces is really weird because they don't have many songs. I think they have 4 singles and that's it. But their music's so good. One song in particular is called Jane. I think they're going on tour right now, so
All right.
awesome.
Sweet. Matthew.
Probably either. I mean, it's like hypothetical, right? Because I don't know any concert schedules.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, just hypothetical.
Probably either a Skillet concert or a Flow concert. They're
What's slow?
they're a band in Japan. They do music.
They do music.
And I've done several
that's true.
covers for like anime openings and stuff. They do.
Skill. I feel like I've heard
they
them
do,
before.
you have
They do.
Well, like their
Everyone.
name. I probably have heard a Skillet song. It's like walking in and being like,
Good
oh,
for
I don't
now.
know if I've heard like a Beatles song. You're like, oh, you know, Here Comes the Sun or whatever. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's the Beatles. It's probably like that with Skillet.
All right.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yes. Oh, I already said Aesop Rock concert.
Oh
Easy.
yeah. Right. Okay. I guess that
Yeah.
means my turn. I was supposed to go to a Tom York concert last April, but
What happened?
Corona.
Oh, right.
and then it got
I was
rescheduled
supposed
to
to go-
October, and it got pushed back, and now it's not existing. So
I was
there
supposed to
goes
go
my
to a
chance to see
Metallica
Tom.
concert.
That's frustrating as fuck, actually.
I'm so glad that the topic today was not the disease.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it was a good choice.
This would have been the most like melancholy fucking.
I mean, it's just so dead of a topic. Obviously,
Yeah.
we've
It
all
really
been
is.
in it.
Everyone
Like,
just
What
talking
is there
about
to
it.
even talk about, really?
yeah.
Oh,
everybody's
yeah,
been
like-
in it, so
We're living it.
These are the
You know, I wore my
numbers.
mask yesterday. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Oh, did you know there's a vaccine? There's actually
it's
a
like
couple. Wow.
crazy.
Oh, and
okay.
it's actually
Three.
cleared for people
Several.
16 and under now.
It's like
Oh,
3
that
days.
happened
that's
yesterday.
Wow, that's crazy.
I'm getting mine pretty soon.
I'm probably getting mine soon. Anyway, not the topic for today, but
Yeah.
you know, I said Tom York, probably Autechre I'd rather go to. I just think that would be just such a weird experience.
Oh
I
yeah.
love it.
By the
I
way,
feel
sorry
like-
I was late for the podcast. I didn't get the at that it was starting yet for some reason.
Oh.
You could have
Maybe you
mentioned
haven't
that afterwards,
hibernated.
but that's okay.
And you were
yeah.
asleep.
Yeah, I was
my
pretty
bad.
sure you were asleep.
No,
Anyway.
I yeah.
That's why
time
we started without you.
time for the grand finale. We purposefully, obviously,
Yes.
skipped over
Drum
Tyler
roll. Yep.
Oh,
for
yeah,
his
of course.
favorite artists. He's the
Yeah.
grand finale.
That's for
So
last.
Yep,
let's
I
hear what you have
a
to say,
small
buddy.
list. Okay. My favorite concert that I would want to go to, because you guys asked, would be a Death Grips concert. I
It
would
would
be
probably be
mildly
Suicide.
concerned. about getting like crushed in between people or something. But I've heard like people are actually pretty nice, and it just looks like a mosh pit because it is a mosh pit.
Yeah, I'd definitely be interested.
People
to
don't
see
usually
them as
die
well.
like that.
Yeah, Death Grips does
Usually.
Did you guys hear about that The Who concert in like the 70s or 80s or something? That like
like people got like
a bunch of people died while everyone was
Seriously?
leaving because they were all trying to squish through these like tiny doors.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Good lord.
Yeah, like a lot of people got crushed. Actually, it's really not funny at all. Anyway,
I'm getting bad for
I like
laughing.
how you bring that up. Everybody starts to laugh, and you're like, "It's really not that funny."
stop laughing, guys. I've been listening to a lot of Daft Punk since they
Oh,
announced
yeah.
Good choice.
they broke up. Almost not a bad song on their record, I feel. Homework is especially spammable for me. You can listen to it while you do anything. I've been listening to Dead Mouse, which is house music. It's pretty good. It's good stuff. It's good to have on when you're playing video games.
It's definitely archaic.
Yeah, it's a product of its time, but I think
for
it was a
sure.
good time.
It's definitely not that.
Dead Now 5.
Yes, definitely.
Not Skrillex. Don't get it confused with Skrillex.
Yeah, nobody. Do people get them mixed up?
No, I don't think so.
Apparently.
Maybe if it's just
Dude.
going off the songs themselves, they see like scary monsters and nice sprites. And then
Yeah,
they're
I
like,
think that's the
Dead Mouse."
thing.
Hey, that's also electronic
I
music.
I watched a video about like how like it was like not necessarily bashing on Skrillex, but like kind of explaining how people like confuse him for like any sort of like dubstep or hard like electronic music. And anyway, that was my
Yeah,
point.
their music is nothing alike. It's not really dubstep, it's house.
Yeah.
So take that. Anyway, there's also this band called the Postal Service, and they have this really good album called Give Up that came out in the early 2000s, which is really good. Kind of indie pop bangers. Not a bad song. I really recommend it. What else is there? Of course, Death Grips. Death Grips is a really awesome experimental rap group.
Yeah, it really opened my eyes. The one about the gentleman on the moon.
Yeah, there were some people on the moon.
I think we
for
call it
sure.
the powers that be.
Yes, the first half of the Powers That Be. Yeah,
I personally like the second half so much. First half is also good though.
yeah. The second half is also very good. That's what I like.
I think
What do
what's
you
most
like?
memorable about Death Grips to me is Michael manically trying to convince me that it's worth listening to and it's not a joke. Please,
Oh my
just
god!
try
Yeah.
it.
Holy cow!
I swear to God.
I remember when I first
It's so good.
you first we were in like the car without anyone else there, and you were talking about how much you liked because I was asking about your favorite artists, and you were talking about like Death Grips. I was like,
Oh,
is this guy for real? But I ended
it's
up also
so good.
I ended up also really liking Death Grips, so it worked out.
What's the modern Death Grips that? But this time they're actually like
100
not
gex.
good. Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I like 100 gex,
You
but
can't
I
convince me
can't
to like
argue
it.
with it.
No.
You cannot convince me to like them.
It's not bad.
I've tried my hardest to tell people like, no, dude, it's not bad. Like it's like Death Grips. And you're like, no, it's not like that.
100 gags is like what I would imagine my brain would be if I'm schizophrenic.
It's
Like,
like
it
when
just
I
needs some time
listened to
to
like Giles as a
Get
joke,
used to it.
and I tried to convince everyone that Giles wasn't that bad. This guy who has
saw
like
a
100
review
plays
that
on
you
You know,
thought of
Spotify.
Giles.
You
was
showed me
okay.
Giles for the first time, and I listened to it for a while, and it's kind of the opposite of something like 100 gex or Death Grips, because I actually liked it less the more I listened to it.
Yeah.
And now I can't stand it.
More than 100 gex.
An acquired distaste.
I'm just traumatized. My first introduction to 100 gex was being shocked awake at 3 a.m. to an ad of Money Machine at maximum volume.
That's the worst. Actually, that's probably the best way to get into it.
No, because it was just not good on first listen and just an acquired taste. I had a similar experience with The Caretaker and Empty Bliss Beyond this world
Oh,
at
well.
3 a.m, and that was incredible. So atmospheric. I love that whole album just
definitely
because I
not-
woke up in the middle of the night to it.
That's not how that was meant to be heard, but I'm glad you had a good experience.
I feel harsh putting this in the chat, but if anyone's
with
interested
100
in
gex,
100 gex, then there you go.
My actual like introduction to it was like Shane showing me it once and telling me like, "Oh, this is like really good," and I was like, "You're actually like stupid. Like, there's no way." I was so defiant. Like, he was like, "You're gonna listen to it and you're gonna like it," and I'm like, "No, like I'm never gonna like this. Like, I'm in spite of you. I'm never liking this because you're trying to like get me to like this." And he's like, he said like the most like harrowing words. He was like, "One day, you're gonna like this." Right, and fast forward like months from that date, something like struck me. I had like a chill down my spine when I realized I actually liked Money Machine.
You're
Like something like completely swapped in my brain,
clicked.
and it was like listen to Money Machine, and I was like, oh no, I can't do it.
It went from a moron to a
And now I'm
genius
like,
in
oh my
moments.
god, yeah. Now I just I don't know. I like it. Like I can't not like it. Now Nightcore is more listenable. Not that I listen to Nightcore, right?
Just about.
But it's like,
I wanted to ask this earlier.
Are you an Angel of the Sean?
Someone has like phases of music in their life, like
Can I admit something?
Nightcore.
I used to only listen to Nightcore for like a year.
No. I'm just kidding.
you fool.
It's okay. You were younger in that time.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
like pre-high school.
Yeah. I did
still
like
like it.
elementary school.
I
Not to
just-
mention, I'm much younger than all of you.
Yeah.
I think I'm the oldest one here.
You're the same age as
only
Ryan.
just turned 18 a couple weeks ago, actually.
Oh, you're even older. You're older than Ryan.
He's fine.
Then. I used to only listen to this guy named Saga Musics for like a year straight.
Yes, I only listened to this guy called
It's okay.
what's his name? God damn it! I had a joke and my brain just messed up.
Perish.
I will perish. Thanks, Obama. I'm so upset
So what
that I
the heck
messed
is
up
100
that up.
gex?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, what a story to be told.
That's a top. That's like we can fill an
That's a
entire
whole
another
episode.
podcast episode on
Wait, what was
why
the question?
100 gex is the most split band in the
Oh.
universe. You either
Yeah.
like it
Just
or you
listen to it
despise
once.
it.
I think we're about an hour.
I was
in
gonna say
now.
we are at an hour and 3 minutes,
we
but
are.
Yeah.
but it's okay. So unless anyone has any final like wrapping up things they want to say.
Oh, okay. This is. Oh no! I have one final thing. A band that I hate. A band that I hate so much.
Chris.
100 gex.
The 1975.
What?
I haven't listened to
hate-
them, but I've heard bad things.
There's only
they're
one
okay.
song I like. There's only one song I like, and that's the birthday party. But
Happy
there,
birthday.
I've
It's just the
listened
happy
to,
birthday
I listened
song
to
now.
all three of the records
I like that song
because
too.
like an ex liked it, so I'm like, okay, I want to try to listen to it to like see what she enjoys out of it, you know. But like I had to muscle my way through listening to all three records. This is like a slog. It's like so boring. It's like, come on, just get to the point. It's just like, okay, come on. This could be like 2 minutes shorter. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
that's
know.
just a band I dislike a ton.
That's how I feel.
I guess I feel like I don't
know
have
it's
a
the
lot of
point.
opinions about them. Because like some of their
But-
songs I do agree with that, but some of the songs I also kind of actually do like. But anyway, go ahead, Michael.
No, yeah, sorry. That's how I feel about stuff like Tool. Like, yeah, I get it's like supposed to be
Mhm.
like mean something, but like, goddamn, I just hate it when songs are like 8 minutes long. It's so fucking boring. That's why like I immediately dropped out of
I'm
my
so
post.
offended.
That's why
I
I,
am
dropped
very
out
offended.
of my post
As
rock
someone who
phase.
listens to Autechre with songs that are on average, well, not on average, but they make songs
Okay,
that are
well,
20 to
Autechre
30
is like
minutes.
at least good. Okay, like I like Autechre. Okay,
It's
You don't have to
thing where
lie.
you have to plan it. You have to.
no, I like Autechre. It's like Brian Eno, but more wacky.
Because
Just,
there's like
just
any
don't freak
point
out
where
about
it's-
how long the song is. Just enjoy it. And
Yeah.
like,
I don't enjoy it.
Just enjoy it for it.
it's just music.
It's boring.
Do you never listen to music for more than 3 minutes?
No, I do. I listen
Enjoy
to
the
Brian
12
Eno.
minutes song forehead.
Well,
I listen to
no
Brian
problem.
Eno. Eno's just a much better experience. Like the only post rock band that I could like stand
Oh, that's a
besides
really cool
Have
cover,
a Nice
Michael.
Life was fucking what was it called?
I love Have a Nice Life.
Something it was Godspeed You Black Emperor. That one's really
Oh
good.
yeah, they're also pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, long
Vaguely listen to
songs definitely you have to allocate time to. I cannot listen to something that's more than 4 minutes when I'm listening with other people. I have to do it solo.
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
I can't
You
listen
have
to
to really
Pink
be in
Floyd
the mood.
Because you
for
worry
that.
about other people's attention
Other
spans.
people's. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, do
Yeah.
you not like this?
It makes me
Screw 'em.
anxious.
Should I change it?
Are you not vibing with this?
Oh
Like
my
cringe
god.
out?
Like, nah, they get next song. This is your song.
I know we're supposed to be wrapping up, but now that I've gotten on the topic, I really, really, really like Portugal the Man up until Evil
they're
Friends.
really good.
And then
Oh, well,
Woodstock.
okay.
I don't.
I like Evil
don't
Friends a lot.
I love Evil Friends. But I just Woodstock. No.
Well, yeah. Mhm.
I should have said up until Woodstock because I do like Evil Friends. That's not.
I like Woodstock.
No. Well, there's some okay stuff on there. But,
Your opinion, it's wrong.
Anyway, I think we should probably end this off before we get in any too heated debates here. We'll have another.
And that,
we'll have
thanks to our
another-
sponsors, Honey and Manscaped.
Okay. Anyway,
This
We
episode
are not
was.
sponsored.
I don't think we can say that.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an outsider to the group. Really enjoyable to be here, though.
yeah.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Me,
Yeah, it's a
me,
fun
me
time.
too.
I'm glad we
I
have
like
this
the
series
size of
as
this
a,
podcast better.
Yeah, I'm
Good
glad we have.
opinions.
I like its girth.
More opinions, yeah. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's,
Also-
it's a good amount. It's not like too many people to where we're like talking over each other
Mhm.
and like too much clutter. It's like a perfect size.
I think it's
Or
just because
like-
we're all
yeah.
polite,
Oh, true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
We don't have
we're
any
very- we're-
unruly people.
as you both
Yeah,
talk
we
over each
can't-
other.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard. Okay, my phone's laggy. But yeah, like I honestly like we could go super in depth with all of these artists in a future podcast too. We could do a thing just like, oh, what do you like about Pokemon music, or what do you like about Minecraft music? We could do like a deep dive into those.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we
we
can
could
take a
do
good
that.
lesson out of this. That being vague makes it really hard when we're going down the line with this many people to
Yeah.
keep it
Yeah.
in time.
It was like we're gonna talk about music, and everybody's like, "Oh, okay." Oh, we'll be
It's
done
such
in
a good
30
topic,
minutes,
though.
right?
I adore the topic. It was so
No,
good.
it was fun.
Yeah, I think next time we'll probably do something outside of music just to spice things up a bit. But I
Yeah, for
definitely agree. Going more in detail about specific things about music, I am totally on board for doing. So, but yeah, I'm glad we have this series to incorporate special guests here as well. So that's another thing. That's another whole reason why I wanted to do this, rather than just the same 6 people in oh my god, couches and cables.
Don't say it. Don't.
I didn't even catch that.
We need to get the spray bottle.
Yeah, I need the spray bottle.
Bad.
But
Among Us.
But yeah, I'm
J
glad
word.
this series exists. So, with that being said, we went a little long today. That's okay. We'll see. We'll see our next topic for next time. We'll probably figure that out on our own. So, thanks for.
If you have a suggestion, you can
sticking
tell
to-
us, but
Yeah. Always
Yeah.
leave suggestions down below. And
just don't make suggestions that suck.
Hit that like button, subscribe.
Yeah, do that.
yeah, do that. You guys have to prepare since you guys are doing the next session without me. You got to get all this
Yes.
stuff down. Like
Yeah,
hit that
you're
like
gonna
button.
Yeah.
prepare.
Answer the
Next
question
week.
of the day. We didn't have a question of the day, but yeah, we'll see you guys
What's
for
your
our next
favorite?
topic.
What's your favorite video game score? Boom, easy.
How's your mom?
Sure.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah, how is she?
How are the kids?
I haven't seen
What's
her
your
in like a
favorite
week.
type of rock? I've already asked this before, but what's your favorite rock in general?
Igneous.
Okay.
Volcanic.
Crystals. I already answered this.
What's the name of your first pet?
Anyway.
Is that the
Oh,
security
no.
question to your bank account?
Pumpkin.
What was the name of your 3rd grade teacher?
I don't remember.
what was the name of the street you grew up on? All right.
But thanks for
Well,
watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
What an
Stay tuned
outro.
for our next podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.